What is going on, Washington fans? Welcome to the JTFB channel. We are live for the third day in a row. Not nearly as long as the other streams. It was like 6.5 hours, like 4.5 hours yesterday, something like that. But guys, we have been kicking ass here on the stream for free agency. So we will talk about all the latest for today, and then also talk about some news as it comes through. Obviously, today being the first day of the new league year, we've seen a little bit more moves. We've seen some guys go other places. We've also made some signings as well. Something else just happened. The Panthers are agreeing to a 1-year deal for Rico Dowdle, Cowboys running back. So interesting, but we have a lot to talk about. So appreciate everyone that's coming through here in the chat. What's going on? Appreciate y'all. Sir Titus, what's going on, my guy? I think we're done with trades. I think we are done with trades, honestly. We're going to talk about these signings, and we're going to really break down what they mean. But I appreciate y'all here in the chat. Make sure y'all are subbed up to the channel. We are on the way to 7K subs. Just hit the 1 million view mark today. Gigantic milestone for the channel. So I appreciate everyone who's coming through here. Let's go. Just got off work and got the stream going. That's how it should be. Crack you a cold one. Order you some Chinese, and let's talk about some free agency as we get some more news coming through. What's going on? Carlos Marcus resigned. Thank God. I was kind of getting worried about Marcus. I was like, damn, I don't want to lose Marcus. Love the Jonathan Jones signing. We'll talk about him as well. What's going on, Herman Rob? Welcome back. Welcome back. Josh, rumor is we got hit with tampering along with the Chiefs. We tried to get Ronnie Stanley. So I'll address that real quick. That is not at all what happened. I guarantee you what happened is we had that offer ready to go, or maybe we communicated with his agent what we were ready to do. But then he already, re-signed with the Ravens. But I promise you, we didn't just hit up Ronnie Stanley and say, hey, we'll steal you from the Ravens for $24 million a year. I saw somewhere else that we never officially offered it to Ronnie Stanley. It's just we had that ready to go. And once he re-signed, like the numbers got out, like, oh, Washington was prepared to give him that much. And then the Chiefs, it was less than 24. I forgot what theirs was. But I'm not worried at all about tampering. I know for a fact Adam Peters would not tamper. And I promise you there are teams in the league that do tamper, though. But a lot of that period is just like the GMs or whoever communicating to the agents like, hey, we just want to let you know, like, we are interested in your client. So-and-so, this is around the ballpark that we're talking about. Obviously, they didn't just call Ronnie Stanley and say, hey, man, get over here. We're going to steal you. Don't go back to Baltimore. That's not at all what happened. So I would not be worried about it at all. So we're definitely getting corner and edge in the draft, and maybe another wide receiver in free agency. We'll talk about that. It's definitely still looking for an edge. I do think that the cornerback room did get better. We'll talk about it. We will talk about it. Had to get back to sanity. Rio's chat is chaos. Oh, Rio's chat is always crazy. Shout out to Rio. And by the way, Rio will be joining me on the channel tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time. We will be going live for like an hour or two. And we're going to talk about all the signings. So don't worry about it, guys. Like, come up in here. If anything else happens tomorrow, we will break it down as well. What's going on, Randy? Lots of depth signings past few days. AP looking to splash in the draft. So, like, we already splashed too with Deebo Samuel as a trade and Laramie Tunzel. There was not a single player in free agency better than Deebo Samuel at any position. If Deebo was a free agent, he would have been the number one option. Obviously T. Higgins got franchise tag, or T. Higgins probably would have been the number one guy. But between Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunzel, that was our splash. Instead of overpaying for Dan Moore or Morgan Moses, like Adam Peters said, no, we're going to swing big. Like we said, we're going to be aggressive, and we meant it. We went and got Deebo, the best wide receiver that was available. I think he's a better option than Devontae Adams. I think he's a better option than Cooper Kupp. I think he's a better option than Chris Godwin coming off his injury for his price tag. I would rather have Debo. And then you go get a franchise left tackle that no one expected to get traded. No one expected Larry Tunsil to be traded from Houston. That's your big splashes. So, like, yes, I would have loved Charvarius Ward. Yes, I would have liked Javon Holland. Like, I trust what they're building out. And we'll talk about what we lost, but what we really replaced it with if I don't knock over my entire setup. But I'm hype. I do feel much better today. Let me see real quick. Make sure. Yeah, so I have by the way, like I said, I have it scheduled out for tomorrow with Rio at 4 p.m. Eastern time. We're doing a giant live stream. But I do want to put the Washington tags in the live stream right now real quick. Make sure we get everybody up in here. But we did make some signings today. Like I said, we also brought back a couple players. We did lose some as well. I know a lot of fans were excited about Ben St. Juste is officially off the team. I know it's hard. We're going to have to cope about it. Just kidding. But St. Juste heads over to the Chargers. So I have no idea what the expectation should be for St. Juste over there. But good luck to him. I know, like I said, a lot of fans, God, the comments were bad. But I mean, rightfully so. He's played atrocious the last his whole career. I'll just say that his whole career. I don't think he's really had that many good moments. Let me see. We'll go ahead and pull this up. I got NFL Network pulled up, and I have the tracker like we've been doing the last few days about moves that have happened, and we're going to go through some chats as well. So drop your thoughts. We've got a celebrity, Jack Smith and Jigba in the chat. Chiefs offered 20 for Stanley, Commanders and Patriots 24. That's right. Sounds right. Carlos Dobbins should go for low. I'd like that for us, to be honest. That's something I tweeted out. Some people were mad. To be honest with you, I would gut the entire running back room. Like, I would not be mad at switching out B-Rob for J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins was not bad last year. He was actually good. He was better than B-Rob. I would keep Austin Eckler. I would draft a running back and have J.K. Dobbins and like TreVeyon Henderson as your 1-2 punch. Maybe that's thinking too much. Maybe that's like a little absurd. But I think that sounds good to me. Can you imagine a TreVeyon Henderson and a J.K. Dobbins 1-2 punch? Or you get like a DJ Giddens or Tutton in like these later rounds. Like if we trade back, and we'll pull up. I mentioned Tinkathon in their tweet about getting our picks correct, and they liked it. So hopefully they actually go in here and switch that over as well, because we don't have pick 236 anymore. But say we get a running back at 128 instead of, pick 29 or pick 61. If we had J.K. Dobbins and DJ Giddens at 128, that's a really good running back room. I don't know. Maybe I'm being crazy, but I would I would much rather have that than like B-Rob and a rookie. Give me J.K. Dobbins over B-Rob. Like I don't know. And I'm an Alabama fan, so it hurts me to say I'm out on B-Rob, but I think I'm officially out on B-Rob. Maybe he has a little bit of juice in him, but I just feel like his legs were done. Darth Gamer said, I think they focus on edge, safety, and corner in the draft. Don't hate it. Oh, man, Kyron Lacy. I just don't know what that ends up looking like with the case. We haven't heard anything about it, which is kind of strange. You think we should run it back with B-Rob at running back one with a better line? So, yeah, no, that is, in my opinion, an awful idea. I really, really hope not. Facts. We already have 7 running backs on the roster. So and now I want people to understand this, bringing back Chris Rodriguez, bringing back Jeremy McNichols, who we did re-sign, does not mean they're locks to make the roster. One of them's probably gone because we are adding a running back for sure. One of them's gone, and the other one's going to the practice squad. So I don't know if they will end up doing something with B-Rob and Austin Eckler. I feel like they would have done it already. But once again, maybe you just let those running backs play it out at minicamp and training camp and preseason, and you decide who the three you want are. You can have Nick Nichols as your pass protector guy. Eckler gives you that receiving and kind of, elusiveness side. But then B-Rob gives you like that physical run style, but he just doesn't have the same juice, So who knows? Yeah, no, but they're all mid. Cut some of them. That's what I'm saying. I would gut it. I would gut it out. Who know? You know who wouldn't be bad for us in the draft? Horn, Joe Horton Jr. out of Colorado. He's a little small, but he can do like special teams and stuff too. He could be a punt returner. He can be a kickoff returner. He's nice. I do like him. Let me see. Let me get out of this real quick. All right, let's see. If they can trade back, grab Jackson, Swinson, and Princely or Princely at edge with one of the corners, Thomas Morrison and Bowman at safety, that would be a dream. I mean, I like that. So, I mean, the first picks at this point has to be edge. But part of me is thinking, like, maybe they want Javon Kinlaw to play edge. That's what he came out at, South Carolina. That's what he was drafted to play. That's where he played, and then he just kind of moved inside because he's so big, he can do that. Maybe they just want him to be the edge guy. So, we're going to talk about Kinlaw, Will Harris, and Jonathan Jones have a similarity when it comes to like how they affect the draft. So we'll talk about it. We will talk about it. The Cowboys also traded for Kenneth Murray Jr., the linebacker, not too long ago, like an hour ago. That is official. Darius Slay finally went to the Steelers. And then, like I said, the Panthers just took Rico Dowdle from the Cowboys. He was a free agent. I don't know about that Debo narrative. Really good pickup, yes, but to say he's better than Davante Adams, who's put up 7 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons practically in a row, is a stretch. But Davante Adams, first off, was never going to come here. He wanted to go to the West Coast. He had his like top 3 teams. We were never on that list. But he's also at the very, very end of his career. I don't think Debo was at that point yet. Then I think what you like want to do in the offense, I think Debo fits it really well. I personally would much rather have him. I would much rather have Debo than Davante Adams. What do you think our top 2 or 3 needs still are for the draft? So that's tricky. I think edge is definitely the top. And then I don't think it's corner. I think, in my opinion, I think it's running back or right tackle. I think it's running back or right tackle because Jonathan Jones could be your outside guy now. Au revoir, you Canadian terrorists, Timothy says. That would be sick. Henderson and Dobbins. That's what I'm saying. What's the most important re-sign right now? Who do we have left? Probably is Noah. Honestly, I'm going to say Olamide Zaccheaus. I'm going to say Olamide Zaccheaus and Noah Igbenogany are my top 2. Everyone else, Dante Fowler, whatever. I think he burned his bridge. Jalen Holmes, Clelin Ferrell, Nick Bellore, Michael Davis, no. Sheldon Day, Jeff Driscoll, Michael Dieter, no. Olamide Zaccheaus, yeah. Noah Brown, Jamison Crowder, KJ Osborne. I think, top 2 is for sure. It's not even close. Olamide Zaccheaus on offense and defense, Noah Igbenogany. I would love to have that depth and that protection at corner. So Jonathan Jones, something I tweeted out, Jonathan Jones played primarily on the outside. So like last season, he played 400. Here, I'm going to go ahead and just pull this up. Get my ugly mug off the screen. Let me share my screen so y'all can see. Jonathan Jones played 404 snaps on the outside last season and 166 in the slot. And then we can also go to PFF and see, was last year just like an outlier kind of thing. But he was the starter opposite of Christian Gonzalez. And I know he's smaller, but he's kind of like, Mikey Samer still. He's a physical dude. He's 5'10", 185, but he can tackle. I think our run stopping for sure got better on the outside, and Will Harris can stop the run. Let's see. Let me go to premium stats real quick. We'll do snap by position. So yeah, 404, 166 last season. You can see outside slot. Let's check 2023. Yeah, he played, even more on the outside in 2023. 6'14" outside, 51 in the slot. So yeah, primarily an outside guy for his size, pretty much like what we saw out of Mikey Samersville last season. Wide corner, 778 snaps on the outside. So he plays a ton. Like I said, he was the starter last season. He might have missed like a game or two because it went down to 716. But outside of Christian Gonzalez, he was the guy. So I think if you look at it right now on the depth chart, they have him listed as your slot guy. You can decide what you want to do. Who looks best where? Does Jonathan Jones look, comfortable in the slot and Mike Samersville can stay on the outside? If so, cool. I feel like that might be best case scenario. But if not, and Jonathan Jones looks best on the outside and Mike Samersville is going to hold it down in the slot, he could finally go there. I think that's fine as well. But what this allows you to do, and people are going to disagree with this, but what this allows you to do, I have no idea what this has to do with eggs and recliners. This allows you, though, to say, okay, maybe corner isn't one of the first two. I think you could start Jonathan Jones, Marshawn Lattimore, and Mikey Samersville next season. I think the coaching staff and AP would be fine doing that. I don't think that's out of the realm. Who is John Jones? I'm sure this has been addressed. So it's not the UFC fighter, which he would be nasty at corner. He's huge. But so he was the starter out in New England for a long time. Forgot how many seasons, like 7. No, he's been there for a hot minute. But I don't think they would have a problem starting him on the outside if they have to. If they are in the draft and they say, okay, why does this keep moving? Okay, there's the edge we really, really like at 29. We don't want to trade back. We want to keep that 29th pick and take that edge guy and then take a running back here and then maybe take a depth at corner or your right tackle here. Like if they don't trade back, which I think they will, and they just have 5 picks, I think you're still fine. Like I said, you get your edge guy at 29, say Nick Scorton, and we can look at it. We'll go through a simulation or something, or I'll just save it for mock draft Monday when I go live on the stream and do mock draft Monday. But you go Nick Scorton, edge, Travion Henderson. Here you can take a right tackle, you can take a corner, you can take truly the best player available. Hell, a wide receiver if you want one at 128. You have so many different possibilities. They're not like, man, we need another corner. You're like, okay, we at least have Jonathan Jones that he could start outside if they want, that's worst case scenario. I think they would do that. And that's why I really want to bring Noah Igbinoghene back because he has that, he can play inside as well. He can play outside, play primarily in the slot, obviously. But he gives you that depth too. We haven't had depth. Our depth has been Michael Davis and Ben St-Juste. So now you could fill it out. So we're like, all right, Mikey's on the outside. And then you have Marshawn on the other side. Then you have Jonathan Jones in the nickel. Noah's your depth guy. You could draft a guy at depth at 128 or 205 here, or in the 7th, whatever. Or maybe they sign another guy. I know we re-signed Seymour. I think he's just like a reserve, isn't he? Maybe I'm tripping. They don't even have him on here. So I'm not really penciling him in to do anything, but that's what you could do. So I think the Jonathan Jones signing at least helps you fill that puzzle piece to where you're like, okay, we're not pressed to get a starting corner, but if we can, and there's one we really, really like, because you don't know how the draft is going to fall. Someone said refresh his on here. Yeah, he is a primarily special teams guy. All these pop-ups. Oh, here he is. He just popped up. Good look. So now you have some depth, but like I said, you definitely want to bring back Noah Benogany because I don't think he was bad at all. I think he was actually pretty solid for a guy that I had zero expectations for. But if you can upgrade, cool, but you're not forced to. If the board falls out and they're like, oh my God, there's a corner we don't like, we have to take him though. You're not stuck in that situation. So, but yeah, Seymour is just a depth guy, really. I do feel like they do have to trade back. And Jonathan Jones is definitely better than Davis, and he's definitely better than St. Juice. I promise you that. Exactly. They do love Mikey as well, and he can play inside, outside. I don't think he's going to be forced to go anywhere. We was looking at trading for John Jones before we got Lattimore. Yeah, that was a guy that we had, checked in on at the trade deadline. This is a guy I've been keeping my eye on for like 2 years. It feels like Jonathan Jones has been one of those guys. I was like, man, I would like to get him. He's like, a reliable guy. He's nothing like, too expensive. I feel like he's a, big time competitor. He fits what they want on the team. I've been looking for this dude for like a year and a half now, and we finally got him. Josh, should we consider, signing Azeez Ojulari? Maybe, but he's just going to be that same like Dante Fowler. He's just a pass rushing guy. He's not a 3-down guy whatsoever. So maybe he rotates in. I really wanted DeMarcus Lawrence, but dang, he got a deal from Seattle. I was very surprised at that. Very surprised. Yeah, St. Juice went to the Chargers. I said I wouldn't mind J.K. Dobbins at all. The Cowboys traded for Kenneth Murray. Yeah, D-Law got a 3-year, $42 million deal. D-Law is a guy we talked about pretty much every day on the live for free agency. But there's no way we were paying a three-year, $42 million deal for a guy that had a Lisfranc injury and was out for the season after week 4. There's no way. I'm shocked he got that deal. And everyone that I've seen that's like Seahawks fans or, cover them or content creators, they're like, what the hell are we doing? Like, what is the plan this offseason? Like, we're just throwing money. And they're very confused by this deal. And to be honest with you, I was too. I was like, I really wanted him. Once I saw he was going there, I was like, dang, that sucks. But once I saw the deal, I was like, all right, never mind. I do not feel bad about that deal whatsoever. We can trade back and still get Landon Jackson. Yeah, I think you could trade back to like 36, 37 if you really want to pick up a third and a fourth or something like that, third, fourth, and like a seventh or a third and a pick next year, whatever, and still get Landon Jackson. For me, Nick Scorton would be the perfect guy. But if he's there at 29 and they trade back, he's not going to be there probably. But Nick Scorton, you want to stop the run. You want to get to the quarterback. You want a big guy who can play all 3 downs. You don't have to worry about him. I think he would be the perfect fit for me. Because after I think Nick Scorton's like tier 1, then it's more so like your Princely, Uman Malian, and then your Landon Jackson, your Swinson, some of those guys, Jared Ivey, some of those tier 2 guys. I don't really want a tier 2 guy. I want a tier 1 guy. And I think Nick Scorton would do a lot for us. We do have 4 running backs now, but like I said, someone's getting cut. Just because you brought him back, you're not keeping them all. Definitely not. Someone said the board is wrong. Yes. So I just talked to them on Twitter, Tankathon, and I told them to get rid of that pick. So hopefully they're working on it. But we traded this 7th round pick to the Texans for Tunzel. It isn't included in the trade. So right now we have 29, 61, 128, 205, and 248. And like I said, mock draft Monday is coming up in a few days. We still got a little bit, but I'll do a full post free agency because obviously I think we're still going to make some more signings. I'll do a post free agency mock draft live on the channel, which is always a ton of fun. But I think these signings just really set you up to have a plan at the draft. We're like, okay, we are taking the best players and the guys that we really like. Like last year, no one really expected them to get Jerzon Newton. We're like, whoa, a D tackle. And now we're like, thank God, because John Allen's gone and we would have to get one this year. So I'm glad they attacked it and they had that mindset. Same with like Ben. They really wanted a tight end. That was the guy they wanted. And they got it. And like I said, that Newton pick, it was just, you saw how excited they were to get Jerzon Newton because he was that good. And the fact that he fell to them, if someone is sliding down the board again in this draft and say it's a D tackle or it's a really good wide receiver and like, damn, we can't pass up on this guy. Let's do it. You're not like, but oh my God, we need a corner. What are you doing? They're like, hey, we can start Jonathan Jones on the outside, but we just got Nick Scordon at like 34, or we just got, I doubt Luther Bird or someone, but just imagine somebody in the first slips out. Say there's just a run on quarterbacks all of a sudden, or a run on offensive linemen, edge rushers, and a really good wide receiver slides, or a really good D tackle slides, or whatever. I'm not going to doubt AP's draft board. I'm not going to doubt their plan of what they want to do. Him, Lance Newmark, and, DQ's up in there with them. I'm not going to doubt what they want to do. But the Kinlaw, the Jonathan Jones, and the Will Harris signings, they're all three very likely to start next season. But if you can draft, say Nick Amenwari, for example, slides to 29, you're like, hey, we want him so bad. Or Malachi Starks, you're like, that is my guy. We got to get him. Will Harris can line up in other spots. He can be that third safety in the, cover 3 in your 3 safety sets, or like your big nickel, whatever you decide to do, or your big dime. He can play corner too. So big dime, big nickel, whatever you decide to do. Will Harris can then be the guy. You sign him to a 2-year, $8 million deal. It's not like he's like on a max contract where he has to start. But also, if you don't get Nick Amenwari, or there's not a safety there on the board that you like, you're like, hey, we still got Will Harris. We're good. We got Tyler Owens, super athletic dude. We feel like he's going to take a jump next year. Quan Martin at free safety. He ended the season really good. Really good cover guy. I think he's actually pretty, criminally underrated for how he looked last season. I thought he was solid. Had some big turnovers. But if someone's there, cool. But if not, don't stress it, because that's what we got Will Harris for. The same thing with Jonathan Jones. This is a pretty solid corner draft. But say the guys they really like, say Amos and Harrison are off the board, and they're like, we could go Revel, we could go Morrison in like the later rounds. We don't have to, because we have Jonathan Jones. We can take Jaden Higgins at wide receiver, or we can get a solidified right tackle to just build the line even more, or get that edge guy. They're not pressed to. So, and Kinlaw is the interesting guy. Kinlaw is that wild card. Is he going to be an edge, or is he going to be a D tackle? Once again, I think it depends on how the draft plays out. If you get that solidified edge guy, then you throw Kinlaw inside and you let him be that crash and loop guy, and he's getting to the quarterback. He's stopping the run as well. Cool. But if not, and you want Kinlaw to be your edge, and you have Dorrance Armstrong on the other side, now I'm sure they're going to be rotating people in. They blitz the hell out with Frankie Louvu. Like, I feel like you at least have that. You could still draft an edge guy as depth. But it just allows you to do a lot of different things. So I really like how it is starting to play out. And I know I probably sound like some overly positive guy right now that's mad annoying, but I keep it real with y'all. Gerald, appreciate the super chats and the super sticker. It's hard to say. Appreciate it. Make sure y'all are subbed up to the channel. Hit that thumbs up as well. And let me get back to some more chats. Someone always slips in the draft. Exactly. They need that 5th-year option. And that could be our advantage. I agree. If Will Johnson falls because of the injury, do we get up? So that's what I'm saying. Like, if someone's there, if Will Johnson, because of his injury and he hasn't done much and he somehow slips to 29, or they, like I said, they want to be aggressive and get Amarion Hampton at running back at 29, you have that luxury now because of who you signed. So say you get Will Johnson, Jonathan Jones, he can rotate in, he can be that depth guy. Will Johnson starts on the outside, that'd be sick. That's fine. You're allowed to do that because you signed Jonathan Jones to a 1-year deal. And like I said, you would just rotate him in. You're not just leaving the same 3 corners out there the same game. Remember how many times, we seen St. Juice last year. We saw Michael Davis last year. We're like, oh my God. Same with Percy Butler as safety. We're like, why are these guys getting so many snaps? And of course, Marshawn Lattimore's injury kept popping up as well. But if a guy like Will Johnson falls, you're like, okay, we can do that because how good he is. Like, you don't want to pass that up, especially at a position like corner. But now with our next position, we can attack edge. We can attack, running back with that next pick and see how the board in the draft really falls. Because if you don't want to trade back at 29 because of a guy like Will Johnson falls there, like, I get it. Maybe you trade back from 61 and pick up a 5th or a 4th and like a 7th or something like that, You're like, all right, we're at 61. Let's go back to like 66, 67, something like that. I like it. I think after like pick 100 is where it starts to be like a crapshoot of this draft. I feel like you can get some good depth guys, some guys that have some upside to them. But once you get past like 100, maybe like 110, 115, I feel like you don't know what the hell you're about to get in this draft. It's either going to be a guy who turns out to be solid, or it's a guy that's going to be inactive every week. Like, you don't know what you're getting. So if you can add another pick here in the top 100, if you can get a third for trading back from 29, awesome. I think this is a draft where you want to do that. What I'm not too pressed about is these lates. Like, oh no, we're losing a 7th. I really don't care, to be honest with you, because that guy is probably just going to be inactive every single game day anyways. Like, I don't care that that's what it took to get Laremy Tunsil. I know a lot of fans are pressed about how many picks we have, having the 5. I think it is inevitable that we will trade back because we did it last season. And Adam Peters loves the draft. He loves finding his guys that he can develop with and building that young core. And I think that is so important too. And something that fans are kind of forgetting about. Because everyone's like, oh my God, we just keep getting these old dudes. That's what free agency is. Free agency isn't, oh, there's a bunch of really young studs in free agency. Good young players don't, who's Jeremy Fowler talking about? Good young players don't get to free agency. When Javon Holland was like one of the only young good players to hit free agency, and he even got paid way less than expected. So free agency is where you're finding that veteran leadership. Like, I know we got Luvu, who's more on the younger side. Jeremy Chin, we took a swing on like a one-year proof of deal. He's on the younger side as well. But, I mean, look what we did. I mean, like Tyler Biadasz, in the middle, like 27, 20. I'm not calling 27, 28 young. But that's the age group you're looking for in free agency. 27, 28, 29, even 30, if they're going to contribute, maybe start for 1 year. You're putting those guys on 1-year deals. But Javon Kinlaw, younger guy, got a 3-year deal. Will Harris, how old is he? 29. Not bad at all. You got him on a 2-year deal. Jonathan Jones is what, 31? 1-year deal. Like, these are guys who are going to contribute, and they're on the younger side. Unless they're on a 1-year deal, then like they're Bobby Wagner, Jonathan Jones, Zach Ertz. But you're just not going to find a ton of young studs in free agency. Like, that doesn't happen. Like, and if so, then there's something wrong with them. They are either demanding to leave, they want to go somewhere else, or they're just not really worth giving a lot of money to. So also keep in mind that Pats play a ton of man coverage, and Joan excels in man in particular. So something I think we'll do more of. Do you think we bring Fowler back? after he tests free agency. I don't know. I feel like he kind of burned that bridge. Jones was terrible last year when targeted. He gave up 72% of passes thrown his way, gave up 7 touchdowns to quarterbacks, had a 138 quarterback rating targeting him. But I still feel like he has an opportunity to start on the outside. I still feel like he could. Only 18 mil guarantee for D-Law is not bad. Yeah, so the guaranteed was low for him, probably because of the injury. But the overall money was a little too rich. Sheriff for a 1-year deal at guard. I wouldn't hate it. I would not hate it. I think we still need one more guard. There's a lot of like small school, like depth guards and like, day 2, day 3 guards that I really like that I think you can plug in to right guard. Shamar Stewart's amazing. He's top 15 pick though, for sure. Stream scenario is one of the top offensive tackles, or Dart falls to us. We get a haul for a trade back. Yeah, that's ideally. Dart should be there at 29. So if the team wanted to trade up and get him, I'm trying to think who would. Maybe the Raiders. And he learns behind Geno. Then potentially I could see it. We have 7 running backs. Yeah, we have a ton. So we're gonna be cutting a ton anyways. Any potential trade partners on a trade back that are more likely? Let's see. Let's do this. I think your best bet. Just throw this in the middle if it'll let me. All right, let's see. Start. So after us, Bills, Chiefs, Eagles, and then if we go in round 2, Browns, Giants, Titans, Jags, Raiders. In my opinion, best case scenario is the Raiders want to trade up to 29 and take Jackson Dart. So, because you have the Browns, you have the Giants, and you have the Titans. All of them need a quarterback. Or if best case is Shedeur Sanders falls out of first round, which some people think is possible. But say Cam Ward goes first overall, the Browns take Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. Say the Giants take Shedeur, so that's the top 2. And then you have the Browns and the Raiders who need a quarterback. I think best case is either the Browns or the Raiders say, hey, we want to trade up to 29. We don't want the Raiders to trade up, or vice versa. We don't want the Browns to trade up and take Jackson Dart. And then you trade back, let's just say the Raiders at 37. Let's just see what that looks like. Which was fine to me. I'd go back to 37 all day. I would love to get 68. You're going back 8 picks. God, I would love to get 68. PFF says there's no way. But, it would have to be. Damn. For me, you would have to get 68. I would love it. 107, 144 and a third next year, kind of fill in that gap next year because we traded the 2 picks, a second and a fourth next year. So you're filling out for next year and this year as well. Like, I wouldn't hate this. Ideally, I would definitely want 168. If they could pull this off, PFF says no, but who knows? You're going back a good bit. Let's just say that's the trade. I won't be greedy. I'll say a 5th next year. And they do that. You have 37, 61, 68. Then I feel really good about it. So I don't know how I feel about Landon Jackson. I don't know how I feel about him. But let's just say you do. I would love Jack Sawyer, JT Tuimoloau. Let's just say you go back. I do like Josiah Stewart a lot too. I know a lot of fans do like Landon Jackson and Princely Umanmielen. Let's just say they go edge first, and I'll just pick Landon Jackson for the hell of it. Boom, that's your guy at 37. Cool. And then you've got 61 and 68. You can take a corner if you want. If you want your running back here, you've got Quinshot Judkins, Dylan Sampson, Caleb, Travion Henderson. You got Donovan Jackson guard as well. Like, you got a lot to play with. So once again, like, we're not pressed to take a corner here. We would much rather have, let's just say, Quinshot Judkins. Like, hey, that's the running back that's on our board. But now you also have another pick, 61, 68. Or you want to get your right tackle. We want Ozzie Chapilo. Kevin Winston Jr. That's my boy. Like, you just have so many different possibilities. If you can do that, trade back 61, 68, you're cooking. But once again, like with Will Harris, with Jonathan Jones, and with Javon Kinlaw, like, we added the edge. Kinlaw's going to go into the inside now. Cool. Fine with that. Now we have Jonathan Jones and Will Harris in the back of our mind to kind of keep, like, okay, really, we would love Benjamin Morrison here, but we have that health concern. Maybe he's not on our board anymore because of his health. Like, this is just how they think. Like, if he's not on their board, they're not going to just take him because it's the top corner available. That's just not how it works. They're like, hey, Quinshot Judkins is our guy. That's the franchise running back we want. Let's take him. And then you're back on the clock at 68. You're like, okay, we've got our running back now, so we don't have to worry about this. Hell, you could even trade back here if there's a team that wants Travion Henderson. Like, let's just say the Jets say, hey, we want to trade up and get a running back. Maybe not 109, but because we're not going that far back. You know what? Fuck it. We're going to get 109. Hey, they accepted it too. So say they take their running back. Like, then you're just playing it out how the board falls, and you have your guys. You're like, all right, let's get our right tackle now. Or is there a wide receiver? Jalen Royals, maybe. Now I would honestly go Ozzie Chapillo. I'd go Ozzie. Yeah, because I don't like Cam Williams. So, like, bam, we got our big time right tackle. He's a mammoth. You got Andrew Makubo. If you want to double down a safety, Jonas Sinker at safety. If you want a corner now, like Kobe Bryant, if he's on your board, like, there's just a lot you can do. So this is what I'm going to do Monday, but just showing you, like, they're not pressed to take a corner first now. They're not pressed to take a safety first now. Like, before they made these signings, we're like, holy shit, we have so many needs now. We're kind of stuck. But you at least have a lot you can play around with. So we'll do this on Monday, together on the live stream, and I'll get y'all's feedback, and we make our picks and everything. It's always a good time. CJ Mosley, I know you like him. That's my boy. Do you think we would get him as a rotational? Probably not. I think he's gonna want to go somewhere where he can start. I mean, he's a big time captain. I guess that's my dog, but I don't think he would come here. He's gonna want to go somewhere where he can start. I would love to see him go to San Fran, obviously, take over for Kinlaw. I think him and Fred Warner would be really good. Becton's an interesting one. So if you do want your right guard, I'm wondering how much that Kenyon Green trade impacted Becton coming back. I'm really intrigued to see what happens. Who's most likely at receiver that would fall to us at 29? Egbuka, Burden. I think Egbuka is too much of a pro for a team to just pass up on him. I don't think either are there. If I had to pick one, I'd probably say Luther Burden. But he had a really good combine too, so I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. What about big body at D tackle? So we did get didn't put him on here yet. Did they? No. They must have missed it. Where's he at? Eddie Goldman is a really big dude. He's a stout guy. He might not make the team. Who knows? But he's a run stop and D tackle at least. But we did add some depth to the D tackle spot. But once again, like, that's not going to stop you if there's a really, really good D tackle that falls to you that you really want. your big body guy that's gonna stuff. I don't think it would stop you. Like if Derek Harmon falls to you, like holy shit, that'd be crazy because he's a beast. I think he's like the next Chris Jones. But like JT Sanders is a big dude. Tyleik Williams is a thick boy, 327. Collins, like Armin Norman Lott, Jordan Phillips is super raw. Deion Walker's big. I like CJ West. I love Peebles. I love Caldwell. Like if you can get Caldwell as a depth guy, if you trade back like I was doing and you get him around this range, then yeah, I would love for him to be a rotational guy. JJ Pegues is another one that I feel like would fit really well. So you just got a lot to play with. You got a lot of different things to mess around with on the roster. Yeah, Will Harris can play corner too. I'm trying to catch up y'all's chats. I apologize. The team site is all jacked up. Stretching is a 6'5" wide receiver. Yeah, they got to update everything. The Penn State safety sounds promising. Reed, I think. So they have Reed and they have Kevin Winston Jr. Kevin Winston Jr. is my guy. He's a strong safety. He was injured, had an ACL injury. Reed he's a really reliable safety as well. Jalen Reed's a beast. Probably like a later round guy. I'm feeling trade back and Siobhan falls to us. That'd be nice. Kinlaw is not and never has been an edge. He's too stiff. He's an interior disruptor and penetrator stunts. But I'm just saying, like, he played edge for, when he came out of South Carolina. But I ideally would want him to go inside because of how big he is. What's he weigh? 6'5", 320. Yeah, he's gained some weight. So they put him on the inside. So why do they have half his head cut off in the picture? Let's see. I want to see every year. They played him inside a lot, so. But some people say, I saw a couple of reports, people were saying we could put him outside. I prefer him to go inside because of how big he is. And the film I have watched from I saw him at San Francisco, but the film I saw with him in the Jets, I really liked, especially on those stunts where he was the loop and crash guy. He was taking out double teams. What about Jeff Okudah? Yeah, he just never really amounted to be what he was supposed to be. But, hell, if you're going to take a flyer on him as depth, you might as well. I think we will re-sign some wide receivers. I would do Olamide Zaccheaus for sure, and I would do Noah Brown. Will Johnson and Mikey back together with feed families would be nuts. I'm still watching Benjamin Morrison. If he erases doubts on his pro day, he's going to jump back in top 20. Ooh, that might be a little rich. I think he's going to be a high to middle second for Benjamin Morrison. I really do think we end up with 3 selections on day 2 from trading back from 29. I could definitely see it. Or 29 for Henderson. Are you talking about Hendrickson and 49? The reports are that they want a first and more for Trey Hendrickson. I just don't think we're in on the Trey Hendrickson anymore after that Tunsil trade. Because like timeline wise, the Trey Hendrickson stuff was well before the Laramie Tunsil trade. We already put our hat in the ring and for the trade with Laramie Tunsil, for Trey Hendrickson. And I feel like AP said, all right, well, we're going to focus on the other side of the ball and build the trenches with Laramie Tunsil and get a franchise left tackle. If y'all going to play hardball for Trey Hendrickson, whatever, we'll draft our edge. We don't care. We don't have to pay him 35, 36 mil a year either. So y'all want a first and more for Trey Hendrickson? Like, we're out. Have fun with that. Whoever decides to get him, we're going to go trade some picks for Laramie Tunsil. That's what I think happened. I think they are out on Trey Hendrickson after making that trade. So we've got some numbers. Let's see. Holy smokes, y'all blowing up Twitter. We got some numbers. Jonathan Jones' deal is for $5.5 million with another $1 million in incentives. That Fowler reported the Commanders still need more depth at the position, but this was a good, affordable pickup. I agree. So he was in New England for 9 years, had 11 interceptions in New England. Jones heads to the NFC East. So the way John Keim worded this, he kind of agrees. He could start on the outside. And at this point, you just want to fill in some depth. And once again, if you go into the draft and there's one that you really like there, I don't know why I can't see that. Then cool, draft him. But if not, you're rolling with Jonathan Jones as your outside starter, and like, let's go. Yeah, I just caught up with this. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. If there's an edge, they really like a 29. Don't trade back. I agree. I agree. Trying to see if anything else is going to go down tonight. If I'm GM, I'm looking at edge or safety at 29 and a cornerback in the second round. That's kind of how I feel too. But I don't know. Me personally, I just really, really want a top running back in this draft class. That's how I want. You think we should take a flyer on Keenan Allen? I don't know. I think that's like a last resort, honestly. I just don't think they're as concerned about wide receiver as we are right now. I think they bring back two more of our guys, maybe make a cheap signing and then draft somebody somewhere, whether it's late, whether it's, my boy Kyle Williams at 128, that's fine. Like, I feel like that's kind of what they're leaning towards. I'd be surprised if they're in on Cooper Kupp. I'd be surprised Keenan Allen, maybe Amari Cooper. I'd be shocked for Stephon Diggs. Zy Alexander, LSU. No, CJ Mosley just like a field general of a linebacker. How would you like if we signed Justin Simmons, another veteran presence secondary who can communicate to secondary? Yeah, so I mean he's from Manassas too. He was talking high about us. He said he would like to come here. He liked what we were building. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that. Like, once again, like, just build out as much as possible. He could rotate in. He's getting up there in age. If you rotate him in with, Will Harris, or, he plays some free safety with Quan, whatever, the safety room is going to be much better. Your three safeties are Justin Simmons, Will Harris, and Quan Martin. That's better than Percy Butler being one of your contributing guys. I hate to say it, but your safety room is better. Maxwell Harrison is such a Dan Quinn type of corner. Him and Trey Amos both are, for sure. Any chance we target a center the 4th and 6th round? I think McLaughlin will fall. I would like Monheim out of USC as a late round guy, or Jake Majors from Texas. But we do need some depth, or maybe you just get a guard that has the flexibility to play center, kind of like what the Eagles do. Because Michael Dieter was so bad. So bad. There's no way he's coming back. There's no way. What's going on, Chef Dre? We officially got Debo. Thank God, man. I like Maxey, though. I like to trade back with the Jaguars, although I'm not sure how realistic it is. That might be the team that we trade back with on Monday. We'll see. Do you think the Chiefs would trade up to jump Buffalo or anything? I don't know. I just don't think. I mean, it depends like what falls. They need offensive line though, and the Bills really don't. They have Deion Dawkins. They don't really need a left tackle. I feel like the Chiefs are gonna want like Josh Connolly Jr. or Ariante Ursary with their pick at 31. But I don't see them wanting to jump Buffalo and then just coming up here. I just don't think there's a player that would be there to where they're like fighting for them. Maybe wide receiver if someone falls, but I feel like they need to go offensive line so bad. And I think a guy will fall to them. And they'll just stay where they are. So I think if we do trade back, I think we go up into the into the second, like a high second, which would kind of suck because we don't make a pick on the first night. But it is what it is. If we get more picks and we're still picking there, like, I don't know, 34, 35, 36, 37, as long as it's not like 40 or something, then we're Gucci. They both 6'1", but Zay got him with the weight, 12 pounds heavier, possibly get a fourth. I think the Giants would trade up with us to select Amarian Hampton. I don't know. They really like starts with a T. What's his name? Their running back that they got. I'm I'm drawing a blank, but they really like him. I thought he was actually really solid last year. I just don't know if they're going to get a top running back. Commanders, Jaguars, Packers, Pats, Seahawks, and all Texans could have interesting cup. I could see it. I think we'd be like one of the outside teams. I don't get that we have 7 running backs crowd. Is any of those 7 a difference maker? Easily no. I agree. We had no running game past like week 5. We didn't have a running game besides Jaden Daniels. Like he was the run game. What if the team hasn't lost hope in B-Rob like we did and they just given him the offseason to rest up because he'll be running back 1 next year? I'd be shocked. I would be shocked. I haven't seen anyone report that we are interested in Cup. I think we should draft a running back. B-Rob's not good enough. His legs just don't see the same. His legs just don't look good at all. I do like Dylan Sampson because he's like 20. Super young. Let's see. We got a super. Let me scroll down. I'm trying to catch up to y'all. Appreciate the super chat, Slayman Sam. Chiefs only have half a D line or 3 round 2. That is true too. But the thing is, like, I just watched what happened to them in the Super Bowl. Their offensive line. God, let's just look. How bad their offensive line is. And who did they get? Yeah, Kingsley. So they got Jalen Moore, who I did want, but I'm definitely way happier with Tunzel. From the 49ers, Kingsley at left guard. Brought back Trey, Jawan. I just don't. Is Jalen Moore really going to start? Is Kingsley and Jalen Moore really going to be the blindside protectors for Patrick Mahomes? I don't know about that. Yeah, they do need another D tackle. Karlaftis is a beast. See what happens with Charles Omenihu. I do like Felix. He was a beast at Kansas State. He was a beast. They're also missing Josh Uche, possibly, who just wasn't good anyways. So, I can see it both ways, but maybe we just trade back a few picks, but then you wouldn't really get that much for that trade back package with Kansas City. Do we know if we plan on moving Coleman to left guard or right tackle? We have no idea. I think that's a great. I think we won't know that until the draft is over, to be honest with you. I think he can play both. Like, I've talked to people, even my buddy Donovan, who, played offensive line in college, said he would put him out to right tackle before he would left guard. But I feel like left guard, you solidify that left side. Now let's address the other side and see what happens. So it's a great thing to watch. We just have no idea what's going to happen with Coleman. Well, we'll see when I'm there at training camp, day 1. That's the first thing I'll look at. Where the hell is Brandon Coleman? But if we get a guy like Johnny Cornelius or Marcus Imbo or Ozzie Trapillo, for me, that answers. Like, okay, that's our right tackle. Coleman's going to be the left guard or right guard. But I would kick him in. I think he's going to be a really good guard. All these dudes would be better if we had them 3-4 years ago. You can say that about a lot of free agents. No, we had a lot of leaving free agents. How many open roster spots do we still need to fill from the free agents versus the draft? So I'll say this. Like, I want people to realize this too. Who did we really lose? Jeremy Chin, I would say, is the only good player we really lost that we weren't expecting to lose. We knew John Allen was going to leave, and he was out for most of the season anyways. We knew John Allen was going to either get traded or get released. De'Ami Brown, if you were that hype about, 1 touchdown and 300 yards in a 16-game season, the best to you, but I lost no sleep last night. The fact that we lost De'Ami Brown at all. Then like St. Juice, who cares? Michael Walker, like the guys I wanted to bring back. I did want to bring back Chin. Chin's like the one I was like, dang, I would have liked to bring him back. But that's it. Like, that's the only real piece that we lost from last season where it's like, oh man. But then we added Debo. We added Laramie Tunsil. You got your franchise left tackle. You got Javon Kinlaw pretty much replacing John Allen. You got Jonathan Jones replacing Ben St. Juste. That's an upgrade. Then you got Will Harris replacing Jeremy Chin. I feel like that can be a wash. I feel like the coverage will be slightly better with Will Harris because he's a smaller guy. He's not, running at 220-ish pounds like Jeremy Chin was. You might lose a little bit of the run tackling and stuff like that from Chin, but you can call it a wash with Will Harris and Jeremy Chin, honestly. It's like, what did we really lose? Nothing. What did we gain? A franchise left tackle, your wide receiver 2 with Debo. You replaced John Allen. You got younger for a guy with upside that played with Coach Tapp, that they wanted him. You improved at corner, and you washed at safety. So I'm not mad at this. I really want to get some more corner depth. I would like at least one guy on the edge, whether it's a rotational guy, whatever. I don't want like the Dante Fowlers, the Ojulawaris, the guys who can't stop the run if their lives depended on it. I want someone that can at least stop the run. If they can get a sack or two, cool. I don't care. Like, just please, for the love of God, stop Saquon Barkley from running the ball. I would like one more wide receiver, like for depth. Let's see who's left at wide receiver. Stephon Diggs and Mark Cooper. Keenan Allen, Deontay Johnson. I don't think Mike Williams signed anywhere. Elijah Moore, only 25 years old. I could see him as a depth guy. Brandon Cooks, another Dallas dude. Like I said, we had a visit for Michael Gallup. We'll see how that went. Tyler Boyd. I don't know why they put Jalen Moore at wide receiver at the left tackle. Ben Jefferson went somewhere. Zay Jones went somewhere. Watson went somewhere. Trent Sherfield went somewhere. Like maybe Lockett. If Lockett wants to play a season, hell, I would take a swing on Lockett. Last year, he had 49 catches, 600 yards, 2 touchdowns. The year before that, he had almost 900 yards, 5 touchdowns. I mean, I would be fine with him being that wide receiver 3. Hell yeah. If he would want to, Jaden would elevate him even more. So there's not a lot of options left at wide receiver. But if you can get your wide receiver, depends on who, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 5. Or you can obviously draft one. I think they will draft one because you want to build that young core too. Bring back Olamide Zaccheaus, bring back Noah Brown. Bam, there's your 7 wide receivers. I would like Zadarius Smith is fine. I am so fine with Zadarius Smith. That's a guy we can look up. I think that's a guy that you have an actual possibility as well. Not Safari. What the? I clicked his name. There we go. So last year, what did he do? I don't want snaps. I want grades. I don't like that layout. Well, let's see. That's weekly grades. Season grades. Tackling wasn't that good. He had 10 sacks, though, 7 hits, 46 hurries. He had 11 missed tackles, though. It's the only thing that kind of concerns me. I just want to see his run versus his maybe this will tell me. I thought it would actually like break it down. Oh, here's run defense. I'm stupid. 62.8. Which doesn't sound like it was that good, but he's honestly never been the best run stopper. It's been like 2 seasons. But, I mean, hell, he got 10 sacks last season. His grade's definitely better than Dante Fowler's was. Fowler's was So bad. He was one of the worst run stopping guys. Let me do this real quick. Nope. I like this layout better. Run defense grade last year was a 50. He was ranked 170th out of 211. And even with all these stats, his pass rushing grade was still 69th. I mean, yeah, 69th out of 211 overall. He was 100th out of 211. Like, he got 5 sacks, but damn, he could not stop the run. Could not stop the run. And like, if you can't do that for me, if you're a liability on one side of, passing and running, then I don't know. B-Rob, so he has one more year. I mean, I would not lose sleep over B-Rob either. Probably extend Debo next off season. RJ Harvey, I like him a lot. He's a little bit smaller, but he's fast. I think they moved him up to like 70 or 80. Like, he got a big jump up, actually. 78. Harvey wins well in PFF's wins above average metric due to high missed tackles forced, averages as a rusher and a receiver, and his production in the passing game. He plays with more urgency and violence. He could be a productive NFL running back. So I think he's a guy you definitely want to take a swing on. Same with DJ Giddens. I do like Devin Neal. I feel like people sleep on Damian Martinez a ton. I see some Le'Veon Bell in his game. Especially behind the line of scrimmage. Like, he gets hit. He had one of the highest hit rates behind the line of scrimmage, but he also had like one of the highest success rates after getting hit behind the line of scrimmage, which is crazy. Yeah, Ursary just had a crazy good combine though, like really good. Justin, the Commander, if y'all haven't watched it yet, the Commander's log, it was like 50 something minutes long. So super long, but it was really good. I was like, damn, there's a lot of moments watching that. I was like, I'm ready for football. But then I was like, okay, Chen's gone, Diami's gone, John Allen's gone. Fuck, like this is this is a different team. But it was really good. I don't know if everyone watched it. It's on their YouTube channel for the Commanders, but a lot of fun. It was a good one. Who do you like at edge that fits us in a second? I personally, I mean, it's not that I don't like Landon Jackson. It's just I would rather have a Donovan Ezeraku. If he's there at 29, that's definitely an option. Mikael Williams, dream pick at 29 if you fell. Nick Scordon, if you can trade back in the second he's there, hell yeah. But more likely would be Landon Jackson, Princely, JT. I feel like for our defense, Jack Sawyer and JT Tuimoloau are better fits than Princely and Landon Jackson. I think Landon Jackson's a little too linear for me. What do they say? Jackson's a fundamentally sound player with alluring length and surprising cornering ability for a player of his size. His overall pass rush win percentage has been low throughout his career, which prevents him as a high floor, which presents him as a high floor, versatile defensive end who can be a solid starter or odd or even fronts. Like, for me, I would rather just have. I would rather have Jack Sawyer or JT Tuimoloau. I do like Princely a lot. He was good last year. He's got some juice to him. I like him. But there's a lot of options for edge. Like, I'm not stressing it as much as a lot of fans are. Between Scordon, Ezeraku, Tuimoloau, Odeja, I do like Odeja too, and Swinson, I think we can solidify our edge room. Not getting too worried about it yet. Thank you. I agree. Tankathon fixed our picks. Let's see. Like I said, I was on their ass on Twitter. I was like, please fix it. Let's go. We got we got a clean slate now. They finally listened to me. I tweeted it at them a couple times. Scatterboo on round 3 would be interesting. He would be interesting. He's got some stuff to him too. Left tackle Tunzel, left guard Coleman, Biotish at center, right guard Cosme Allegretti, right tackle Wiley. I think that's, as of today, that's for sure what it would be. Once again, you have the opportunity to upgrade, do it. If not, I think Cosme would be back by like November, December, probably more so December. But you got some different things you can move around. I know people are scared of Noah Brown's injury history, but last year's injury was a fluke. Yeah, it's kind of a crazy one. I think it's solid opposite Terry, and once he got going, JD targeted him a lot. So yeah, I mean, he joined the team late August, anyways. So he came in late, and he still took Dyami Brown's spot and had more receiving yards than he did, and he was out for many weeks. If Imanwari, Scorden, or Hairston are all on the board, who are you taking? Oh, God. I would take. I really like Nick Scorden a ton. I think Nick Scorden would have the highest upside for all the edges. Imanwari really fits Dan Quinn, though, and so does Hairston. But I would just find it so hard to pass up on Nick Scorden. I think he would be so good. I was so bummed when he backed out of the Senior Bowl. I was so bummed. Yeah, Ben St. Juste is on the Chargers. He's on the Chargers. Who's going to replace Fowler's 12 sacks, though? Nick Scorden. Or one of these draft guys, and then we're going to rotate in. It's going to be a committee. Kuntz, yeah, where did he go? Did he go back to the Raiders? I think so. Which sucked because I really liked Malcolm Kuntz. Yeah, I think he went back. Yeah, he's going back to the Raiders. Sadly, 1,000 from Terry and 600, 700 from each Debo and Noah. I can see it. I do like Elijah Moore as a depth wide receiver. Do we play the Chargers next year? If so, Jaden will break the passing record in one game. We do play the Chargers next year. Yeah, we play the Chargers away. We got a decent schedule next year. Like, the Bears got better. The Raiders are intriguing with Geno now. The Vikings, like I said, depends what J.J. McCarthy does. How the Giants might get Aaron Rodgers. Like, the Broncos at home, Bo Nix and all of them. It's a hard schedule. This is not an easy schedule. But I'm not worried about it. I feel like, I mean, we're all gonna, like, every team should be getting better. Except the Eagles. The Eagles have got worse. So we'll see what they look like. Dante Fowler, Zadarius Smith, or draft. I would definitely do Zadarius Smith. Like I said, I don't know if the team, after that little social media outburst by Fowler, if they would want to bring him back. Elijah Moore is probably the only guy left with some upside. Yeah. And I would take Lockett too. I think Lockett would help you out a ton. I'll get to that in a second. Elijah Moore, Tyler Boyd, perhaps, if we don't sign our guys, then maybe get Lockett. I think Lockett for a year. What was Micah talking about? Let me see. Micah's always tweeting. It's my time. Yeah, so someone here retweeted it. Tom Downey said, because Michael Parsons said it's my time with the Lion. Someone said wouldn't read this as contract related, but would as leadership related. He retweeted it. So Chauncey Golston's gone. And Obviously, D-Law's gone, so now Micah's like the dude. So he's just going to step up as a leader. I love the signing of Jonathan Jones. I feel he would play outside. We can move Mikey back inside. I feel like that's what would happen. I mean, you have the opportunity. You're going to see who's more comfortable where and who plays better where. But between Jonathan Jones and Mikey, you can swap them because Mikey looked really good on the outside. Raiders and Chiefs battling over Lockett, aren't they? Probably Raiders just because of Pete Carroll. Or like the Packers. Whoever loses out on the Cooper Kupp sweepstakes is probably going to target Tyler Lockett. How much does the age of our free agents worry you? Feel like there will be heavy roster turnover every year with this approach. So it doesn't worry me just because, like I said, that's what free agency is. A guy is usually around 28, 29, 30. Like, you don't see young, good free agents. They just don't really exist. Like, let's just look at the top free agents. T. Higgins is one of the rare guys. Trey Smith, Javon Holland, very select few. Chris Godwin, 29. Khalil Mack, 34. DJ Reed, 28. Amari Cooper, 30. 31. 27, almost 28. 28. 31. 30. Almost 29. Almost 30. Like 26. And a lot of these guys went back to their regular teams. Then, like I said, you have a few younger ones sprinkled in. Cam Bynum, almost 27. Milton Williams, 26. 27, 27, almost 30. Like, free agency is that group. It's that 27 to 30, 31 range for a lot of these guys. And this just tells you what they really thought about this free agent group. It just wasn't good. And it's been known that this group wasn't the best to begin with. A lot of teams really didn't like it, but then the market got reset at so many different positions right before free agency too. So, I mean, wide receivers were getting paid. J.C. Horn reset the corner market. It's just they didn't like this free agent class, and they weren't ready to overpay and put themselves in a bad salary cap situation. So they went ahead and made some of these, better deals for players they really like. 2-year, $8 million, 1-year deal, whatever Jonathan Jones numbers came out to be, $5.5 million for a guy who could possibly start. Javon Kinlaw, obviously the bigger one, 3-year, $45 million, but it's only 7.5 cap hit next year. Then it goes up when the cap goes up again. So it's just very smart deals. They said we're not going to be that team that pays like whatever Hobbs got paid, something insane. Like, a lot of corners got overpaid. But then even so, like, it's if you would have went and gotten Ronnie Stanley, he's almost 31. Like, Stephon Diggs, 31. Like, Charvarius Ward's 29. You give him a 3-year deal, you're like, if they didn't want to do that deal, he's going to be 29, 30, 31, 32 by the end of that deal. Maybe they didn't want to pay him that much. Like I said, there's a couple younger guys, but most of them are in that same age range. So maybe they just didn't want to do it. They're like, nah, we're good on that. We're good on overpaying for aging guys. And it's not like any of these guys are like in their prime. Like, I feel like Trey Smith, sure, didn't leave anywhere. T. Higgins, sure, didn't go anywhere. Javon Holland, he regressed last year. We'll see what happens. He was phenomenal the year before that, 2023. Chris Godwin, he's on the back end of his career, 29, had that bad injury, still went back to the Bucs on a good deal. Khalil Mack's career's almost over. DJ Reed, really solid dude, but he's 28. You're going to give him a 3-year deal, and you're going to be right back in that boat. Old. Don't need a quarterback. 28. Are you going to overpay Josh Sweat? That's kind of what the free agent group was this year. Are you going to overpay for a 28-year-old Josh Sweat just because that's the only thing you have to get out of the talent pool? And it just didn't seem like they wanted to. What's going on, Philip? I love the Mariota and Jones signing today. I like it too. I thought today was a really solid day of some moves. How is Kinlaw, the free agent, worst signing? Chargers out of St. Jude's definitely worse. Yeah, they need to. De'Ami Brown and St. Jude signings are classic examples of signing backups off of good teams and thinking they'll become great starters. Yeah. They think that St. Jude is going to save them. I hope not. They gave De'Ami Brown a 1-year, $10 million deal. We were never going to do that. So I just talked about what they were doing. Dumpster diving and free agency, complete failure. Draft pick will not do much this year as far as the D goes. Extremely disappointing. I disagree. Shop with Charles says, smash that like button. I appreciate it. Make sure y'all are subbed up as well. Hit that like button. Slamming with the super chat. Top 4 AFC. Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, Broncos. Top 4 NFC. It's early, but I'll say, dang. I think we're definitely top 4. I still think Eagles with all their, losses. I say Eagles, us, Lions, and Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay will be fine. They didn't really lose anything either, so we'll see on that. How can any other position than edge be considered for our first pick? I don't disagree with you. Don't disagree. I know Marshawn won't be as all-pro stuff next year, but how do you think he'll perform fully healthy? If he's fully healthy, he should be good. Like, that's what you were banking on. Yeah, Rams too. Damn. Rams or Bucks? Who would you take? I would probably go Rams. You're right. Yeah, you're right. We will not have a good year. Definitely not getting past the regular season. Great QB and no. We did it this year though with a worse team. We got drastically better this offseason. That's what I'm so confused about. We just went to the NFC Championship game and we got drastically better. We have a franchise left tackle now, and we have Deebo Samuel, and we lost like nothing. So I'm not sure what we did to get worse. I'm not sure. Like, are we just doubting Jaden that much? Is that what's happening? I don't think so. I don't see how we're just not going to make it past the regular season because we didn't decide to give Javon Holland a big deal. Or we didn't decide to get DJ Reed a big deal. Like, everyone thought we had like $100 million in cap. I don't think people realize we didn't have that much. Especially after the trades. That's Sport Tax Spot Track. Let's go to the numbers. A lot of teams overpaid for a lot of players this free agency. I will never be mad at not overpaying. We have 45 mil right now. New England still has 92 mil. So are we going to cuss out New England for not being, aggressive in a really bad free agency group? We're not going to just milk out all of your cap. I think that's something that blows my mind too. There was a lot of fans that wanted us to drain this down to 0 in this free agency group. Why? You need money. I would love to be at the top again next season when it's a better free agency group. They're going to just extend and waste all of this money on a bad free agency group. Like, yes, I would have loved to get another, splash guy or whatever. If we wouldn't have traded for Deebo and we didn't trade for Laremy Tunsil, then yes, I'd be like, what the hell are we doing? But those are your splash signings. No one made a move more impactful than what we did getting Deebo and Laremy Tunsil. Like, just because it wasn't free agency, but we traded for them, fans think we're just asleep for free agency. Tell me one team that made better moves than getting Deebo Samuel and Laremy Tunsil. A franchise left tackle and a legit wide receiver too. Tell me one team that had a better offseason so far. I don't know anybody. I don't think anyone. No one made additions that big. Nobody made additions that big. So what exactly did we do that's just failing right now? Great quarterback and no balls. We traded for a franchise left tackle. We traded picks for a left tackle. We traded picks for a wide receiver. We traded Jahan Dotson for a third. We traded for Marshawn Lattimore, Deebo Samuel, and a franchise left tackle in Laremy Tunsil. And we still have these 5 picks. We still have a first, a second, and a fourth. So how is it no balls, but we're the only team that has been aggressive enough to trade for Laremy Tunsil and Deebo Samuel? We tried to get Myles Garrett. He obviously got a bag. We've been rumored to be included on the Trey Hendrickson thing. But if they're asking for like a first and a fourth or a first and a third and 35, 36 mil a year, fuck that. I wouldn't do that either. So I'm just so confused. What move did we do this offseason that was so bad? No team has done this. No team in the NFL besides us has been aggressive enough to trade draft picks for a franchise left tackle like Laremy Tunsil and trade for Deebo Samuel. Tell me one team that their free agent signings outdid that. Not a single one. I know Marshawn won't be his pro self, but yeah, I think I addressed that one already. But he needs to be healthy. Marshawn's got to get healthy. Yeah, pessimistic to the extreme. Like if we didn't trade for Deebo, we didn't trade for Laremy Tunsil, yes, I would be like, what are we doing? We're doing a bunch of depth signings. We were trying to get Ronnie Stanley, one of the best offensive tackle option in free agency, but he re-signed with his current team. So how are we not aggressive? We made the biggest offer for him. And then when we couldn't get him, we said, okay, we will pivot to go getting Laremy Tunsil. I just feel like fans aren't thinking. Defense, no defense. What are you missing? Who? Like, he didn't want to overpay for one of these corners. Between Khalil Mack wasn't going to leave. Javon Holland, like I wanted him, but I'm not losing sleep over Javon Holland going to the Giants. DJ Reed, okay, I can listen to you about that. 28-year-old, give him a 3-year deal. Once again, the market got reset at corner. He got a good deal. I would not have overpaid for a Josh Sweat. I would rather draft a young guy. Charvarius Ward, 29 years old. Once again, he got a big deal too. The market reset. Osa Odighizuwa didn't leave. Cam Bynum, whatever. I mean, he's decent. He's, pretty good, but he's, once again, not worth giving some gigantic contract to. The market got reset. They didn't like any of these guys. They didn't want to force themselves to do it. Like, tell me what exact player you're losing sleep over. Like, if you say Ward, DJ Reed, okay, cool. But they didn't want to overpay for him. Like, I'm chill. These non-football knowing having fans we got are ungrateful for these guys. They're used to Ron's way. Yeah. Would you rather us go get an Albert Hainsworth or a Josh Norman or like overpay for somebody and then just doesn't work out and then we're stuck in a shitty contract? Like AP is not going to just go get somebody that he doesn't want or overpay for someone that he wants. Like at all. I know people say that the defense is worse than last year, but if we get a strong safety and an edge, they work out on defense, then defense is better than last year. I'm also one from the Dobbins post. Yeah, I would love Dobbins. But yeah, we didn't lose anything on defense besides Jeremy Chinn, and we already replaced him. So now we can focus on edge with one of our top picks. We signed a starting corner. We can still take another corner. We addressed the interior D-line with Javon Kinlaw. So really, all we really have to do is get one edge guy. And if you have the ability to address others, second, third round, like if we trade back, like whatever, fourth round with 127, you get, I don't know, another D tackle, or you get another edge guy, or you get another corner, like then cool. But we needed a left tackle. We got one. We needed another wide receiver. We got one. We lost Jeremy Chinn. We replaced him. We already knew John Allen was going to leave. We replaced him. The only things we need is edge. And I'll say running back too, because that's what I want. Would it be nice to get another corner? Sure, we still can. Would it be nice to get another safety? Sure, we still can. We don't have to, though, because he addressed it already. Just because you don't know who Will Harris is doesn't make it a big sign, like a bad signing. Just because you don't know who Jonathan Jones is doesn't mean that it's a bad signing. Same with Javon Kinlaw. Just because you think we overpaid for him doesn't mean it's a bad signing. Money left. It says we got 45 mil. Which still not bad considering we added wide receiver 2 and a franchise left tackle. We still have the 9th most cap money because of the moves he made, getting rid of John Allen. And you can still extend Terry, which I think will either happen soon or probably now more so in the summer. And then you're back to having more salary cap again. You can, do some more stuff with it. New England had like 125 mil coming into this, which it sucks because, like I said, the group sucks. You're not going to just rebuild your whole team. But, yeah, they still have 92 mil. So they're going to just carry a shit ton over into next free agency group, which is going to be better. Next year is such a better free agency class. Yeah, and we're going to have so much money next year. Exactly. Like, we were just at the NFC Championship game. And I don't know how many times I have to say this. I'm like a broken record. We added Debo. We added a franchise left tackle. We're not done. We added solid pieces. Will Harris is a solid piece. Jonathan Jones is a solid piece. Javon Kinlaw is a solid piece. What I'm going to laugh at is when those 3 dudes ball out next season. And then these same fans that are dissing these moves that did the same thing last year. Oh my God, we got Zach Ertz in the year 2024. What are we doing? Austin Eckler, Bobby Wagner, the 36-year-old. What are we doing? This is not a serious franchise. Remember all those, the frozen cold takes, whatever, all these experts talking about our offseason. Washington's quietly having the worst offseason possible, signing Zach Ertz and Austin Eckler and Bobby Wagner and just all these old hags. And look what happened. I mean, I'm blown away. I'm blown away that people would doubt that. We went from how bad we were to the NFC Championship game. I think fans completely forgot. Do y'all remember we were there? I know we got blown out by the Eagles, but y'all do remember that we were there, right? Could you do you think we win that game or have at least a better chance if we add Debo, if we add Laramie Tunzel, we upgrade another corner? The safety is better in coverage. We have an actual D-tackle presence that can stop the run, and he's got some pretty decent moves that can get to the quarterback. I think so. And then you lost Diami, who fumbled. I feel like your chances at that game. And now the Eagles lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Milton Williams, Josh Sweat. Who else did they lose? They might lose Mekhi Becton. They lost a good bit of pieces. So we got better by a good bit already, and we're not done yet. And they got worse. Now, I know they're not done yet either. But I feel pretty good right now. I'm not mad at this at all. I don't understand the frustration. And honestly, what happened is the fans did it to themselves. The fans said, "Oh, we're gonna get Khalil Mack. We're gonna get T. Higgins. We're gonna trade for Myles Garrett. We're gonna do all these giant moves." No one knew what they were gonna do. Of course, I come on here and I tell y'all possibilities. I tell you, hey, this is possible. But at the end of the day, no one really knows what Adam Peters wants to do. I didn't know what the hell he was going to do last year, but I trust what his process is. I'm down for it. And I as it starts to build, I can see what his thinking is about all this. Titans just signed Draymond Jones. That's quietly a good signing for them. D-tackle. Solid dude. He was a beast on the Broncos. I don't know how good he was with the Seahawks, but that's a good little D-tackle presence What is Aaron Rodgers doing? Oh, Aaron Rodgers walking the beach with a blanket and his swim trunks, just listening to music, strolling along a beach as he continues to ponder his NFL future. What a guy. I think he's going to the Steelers. It's between the Steelers, the Giants, and then now the Vikings just pop back up again. So who knows what's going to happen. This franchise was screwed up for over 30 years, and in 1 year it took a turnaround, a complete turnaround. Everyone wants Dan Snyder-esque signings. They want the Albert Haynesworth, the Paul Richardson, the Terrell Pryor. They want those big names. They want those splashies that don't work out. This is phase one of free agency. There will be more cuts between now and the draft next month. Patience, people. Yeah. And then you have your June 1st cuts. Like, you just never know what's about to happen. Right. I think fans, we want worse than what we really are. Maybe the Bears. Yeah, I think the Bears are going to be much better next year. The Ravens released Marcus Williams, safety. So that's what I'm saying too. There's more players. What you mean, local? Don't be messing up again, Twitter. Like, more players are gonna be coming available. Like, we just gotta relax. Oh, I'm muted, Kareem. I know, like, sometimes I can be negative too. Trust me. I don't know who's like remember when me and Cam Curl got in a fight on Twitter? Like, I can get negative, but for the right reasons. I'm not just always negative. I'm not always positive. I try to give y'all my honest opinions, and I'm willing to listen to every opinion. But if you really think we're having a terrible offseason after adding a franchise left tackle for hopefully the next 5 years, he's already under contract for the next 2 years, adding a stud wide receiver 2 with Deebo Samuel, and then replacing what we lost with some upside, younger and better in a couple other spots, and bringing back, then, like, I'm fine. Like, I'm so fine with this offseason. I don't get what's going on. Like, I don't know. Fans are freaking out. Teams are not even complete and they're talking trash. Unbelievable. Like, yeah, we still got a draft. We still have plenty of people to sign. The Bears are heavily improved. Big time. Big time. Hold on one second. Let me check my DMs real quick. All right, let's see. They did say that about the. See, that's another thing too. The Bears spent so much money and they made all these splash signings and they were terrible last year. So it's not like you spend the most money, you sign the most players, you're automatically going to be the best team in the league next year. That's just not how it works. Man, fans are having PTSD. I remember fan bases crashing out about Sweat, Curl, and Young. We will be fine. Yeah, like, I was not losing sleep over any of them. How is the defense worse, Allen and Shin, or do y'all want Ben St. Juste and Davis back? Like, exactly. Let's see. Bears taking Shedeur with his baby cub birthing hips. The Bears are always going to be the Bears. The Bears need a quarterback. I actually don't mind Caleb. I think Caleb's going to be solid. You made a great point with the structure of the Kinlaw's contract. Yeah, like, the year you have to worry about is 2026, not next year. But if he's bad after that, you just get rid of him and you're cutting off, what, 13 mil. 13 mil. So he's not going to get the 45 if he's not good. Is there some places that you can see the free agency for next season? Let me see. Can you do 2026? Oh. All right, so let's see. I mean, hell yeah, I think it's better already. TJ Watt, T. Higgins, if he doesn't sign a long-term deal. Gino, Daniil Hunter, Debo, we'll pay him. Trey Smith, Terry, not gonna happen. Trey Hendrickson, Mike Evans, Khalil Mack, Colton Miller, solid left tackle, Christian Kirk, Braden Smith, Joe Tooney, Cortland Sutton, George Kittle, Jonah Williams, Dallas Goddard, Wyatt Tiller. I mean, there's some big names. Cam Jordan, Malcolm Kuntz, Joey. I mean, the guys who signed 1-year deals this year too. Jacoby Myers. I mean, yeah, there's some big names in next season. Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson. I mean, Derek Stingley Jr., Sauce Gardner. Holy shit. Yeah, don't sign nobody else. Don't sign nobody else. Fuck this free agency class. You kidding me? Wide receivers. Let's get rid of this. T. Higgins, Debo, Terry, Mike Evans, Christian Kirk, Cortland Sutton, Jacoby Myers, Tutu, Jamar Chase. Obviously, he's going to get a bag. Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Jameson Williams, John Mechie, George Pickens, Alec Pierce. I mean, way better than this year. Way better. I mean, even the depth guys are way better. Romeo Dobbs. Ooh, Eric Uzunakama, my draft crush. Dontavian Wicks. I mean, damn. Demetric Felton. I forgot even. I forgot where he was. Ronnie Bell. Bill Melton. Jalen Naylor. I mean, hey, my boy Mitch. It's deep. Jason Brownlee. I thought Brownlee was a corner. Ross. I mean, it's good. This is just the wide receivers. There's a shit ton next year. Let's look at corners. Oh, let's look at edge first. TJ Watt, Daniil Hunter, Trey Hendrickson, Khalil Mack, Zach Allen, Hassan Reddick, Cam Jordan, Joey Bosa, Malcolm Kuntz, Nico Autry, Clowney, Leonard Floyd, Draymond Jones, Trayvon Walker, Gross Matos, Aiden Hutch, Ogunjobi, Kayvon, Arden Key, Joseph Asai again, Rockwell, AJ Epinesa, Micah Parsons, Kwity Paye, Jermaine Johnson, Bud Dupree, George Karlaftis, Odafe Owe, Marcus Davenport, Logan Hall, Ibikite, Boye Mafe, David Ajabo. Holy shit. Drake Jackson's all right. He's a depth guy. DeMarvin Leal. Damn, I forgot about DeMarvin Leal. Texas A&M. I don't think he's played that good. Mathis. I mean, there's some solid dudes. Casey Toohill to the Texans. Casey Toohill, Washington legend. I mean, yeah, it's way better next year. Like, by a noticeable amount. Stingley Jr., Sauce Gardner, Jonathan Jones, Meek Robertson, Stokes, Trent McDuffie, Greg Newsome, Melifuanu, George McCreary, Kyler Gordon, Alante Taylor, Marco Wilson, Cam Taylor-Britt, Martin Emerson. Hell yeah. Mathis is decent. Jalen Armour Davis is depth guy. Josh Williams. I mean, Tariq Woolen, Zion McCollum. Oh, we signed another defensive lineman. All right, let's get back to this year. So yeah, free agency group is next year. Is really good. Really solid next year. All right, we signed. Let's see if it'll load. Come on, Twitter. Deatrich Wise agreed to a 1-year deal worth up to $5 million for the Commanders. Let's see what we can find out. Deatrich Wise went to Kansas, right? Let's see. Trying to check to see details. Deatrich Wise. We needed interior guys so bad. He was on the Patriots. I sent out the tweet. One-year deal worth up to $5 million. So they're beefing up the trenches. Like, no one should be mad at that. Any move that beefs up the trenches, I'm fine with. And I think he is a solid player too. I scouted a couple Patriots games. Pretty sure he played on the Patriots this season. Hold on once. Let me finish this up. Washington Commanders are signing defensive tackle Deatrich Wise to a 1-year deal worth up to $5 million. All right, Deatrich Wise, what you got? They play him at edge. Let's see. It says D line. It tells me nothing. Detailed positions. There we go. Played a couple D tackle. Played some left end, right end, outside. 6'5", 280. So he's a D end. So they're building up that D inside. That's what it looks like. I don't like how this is labeled out. I know it's defensive left tackle, left end outside, right end outside. It's where he played primarily. They have him listed as an edge. Let's see. Harrison Smith signed with the Vikings. He's 36. So, yeah, 6'5", 280 D end with 34 career sacks. He played 493 snaps last season, 406 on the defense. setting that edge, getting ready for Saquon next year. You let an okay defense call. I'm not even going to read this junk. Can Wise stop the run? I mean, he's better than Dante Fowler. Dante Fowler is going to cost less than the Commanders were initially going to give him. Poor guy. Yeah, he's about to take a low bag watch. Yeah, Wise was an edge guy for the Patriots. I mean, I'll take it. Any kind of move like that on the trenches, I'll take. People mad you want defense pickups. There's your There's your defense. There's your defense. Are you still mad? You wanted a defensive signing. There you go. Yeah, I think this at least helps you set the edge better. All right, so he played DN and had 20 pressures, 1 batted pass, 3 hits, 12 hurries, 5 sacks, 11 stops, and 269 passing snaps. So I mean, he'll be. I don't think he's a 3-down guy. At 6'5", 280 pounds, Washington beefs up the edge. But like that's what I want. I want those bigger guys on the outside that can set the edge instead of Lil Dante Fowler out there. I would much rather have a bigger dude. That's why I want Nick Scorton, because he can, set the edge. He can stop the run, but he can get to the quarterback too. Nick Scorton, Princely can. Josiah Stewart's like one of the smaller guys that can do both. Same with Donovan Izrike, but you have to be able to stop the run and get to the quarterback at the same time. Nathan with the super chat, appreciate it, man. Thoughts on getting Amari Cooper for wide receiver 2 or 3 still available? I'm not against it. I don't know what he's going to cost. I feel like his price point's all over the place. 15 mil a year. I'd rather go get Tyler Lockett super cheap and then just draft a guy, honestly. I love Amari Cooper, but 25 mil guaranteed on a 2-year, 30 mil contract. He did have a lot of drops last year. Struggled with drops in 2024, though, failing to bring in 15.4% of catchable passes. I love him to death. He's one of my goats, but I don't know if I'm giving him that contract. It's kind of a lot. Yeah, they do like Jalen Holmes. It's been, said a couple times that they would love to bring Jalen Holmes back. Let's see if they update this. Let's see. Dude, these ads are killer. Okay, they haven't updated it yet. But yeah, they do want to keep Jalen Holmes. So if they can re-sign him, I don't know what they're going to do with Clelin Ferrell. Let's see. He'll be in the rotation, could fit in the middle and passing downs. I wouldn't be mad at it. Edge depth, yeah. You at least have some depth at it now. This is a good point too. Javonte Jean-Baptiste, when he did come in, he looked really solid. Let me see. But yeah, you want to re-sign Jalen Holmes. Clelin Ferrell, I'm on the fence about. I don't know. Sheldon Day, I thought he had a little bit of flashes coming in. You replace Fowler. Right now, it's probably going to put Wise right here. Unless they just keep Dante Fowler until he signs with the team. But Jalen Holmes, then Dorrance Armstrong. And then you got a little bit of depth, but now you just need like your sure starter. I mean, Dietrich Wise is not going to be your sure starter, but you at least beef it up a little bit. Fun challenge for you. Name some of the top remaining in each position you would want. I mean, I would love Cooper Kupp at wide receiver. I just don't see it happening. I would love to go Elijah Moore, young upside player for super cheap. Edge, I'd go to Zadarius Smith. Corner, Isaac Yiadom. Guard, Will Hernandez, I don't think signed anywhere. Safety, Justin Simmons. Running back, J.K. Dobbins. Tackle, I'm good on everybody. They all suck now. I think that's it. Corner, safety, wide receiver, guard, tackle. We don't need a tight end. I did running back. I think that's it. I don't think I missed any. Definitely need another linebacker. I don't know. I just pray Jordan McGee stays healthy. I mean, I think you replace Michael Walker, who went to the Cardinals. Nick Bellore, I hope they bring him back, even though he's old as shit. He was so good in special teams last year. I didn't realize he's like 36 or something. I didn't realize he was so old. 35. But he was a special teams monster last year. But yeah, maybe they get a late linebacker, or maybe they make a cheap signing and then just roll with it. I mean, McGee is that young future guy. I mean, he's the guy who's going to step in for Bobby, in my opinion. Just need him to stay healthy. I'm interested to see Dom Hampton's progression from safety to linebacker, but we'll see. Getting rid of St. Juste made us better. Yeah, I do agree. Farrell probably gone. I don't hate it. He was hurt a lot. I feel like me and Rio had a running joke that he was literally on the injury report every single week, like something different. Our 7th rounder had games where he was the defensive starter. I don't know if that's good or bad, but JJB has potential, man. He did. I mean, I know there's a couple people that really like him, but he showed some flashes whenever he did get some reps. Don't sleep on Javonte Jean-Baptiste rotating in. But still, I am still like begging for that franchise guy. We're bringing guys who play for terrible teams, Saints, Jets, Patriots. But if you like realize, who do we get from the Jets? I don't think. Oh, the Kinlaw. But if you look, like the fans are like, damn, I can't believe we lost him. Like Will Harris, Saints fans are like, dang, that sucks. We really wanted to keep him. Same with like the beat writers and content creators and stuff. Like we really wanted Will Harris. Same with Jonathan Jones. Like, damn, we wanted to keep him. Eddie Goldman's only one. Like Eddie Goldman is honestly the one signing where I'm scratching my head. Like, probably doesn't make the team. Javon Kinlaw, I feel like Jets fans, some liked him, some hated him. Seeing if they'll update. Not yet. But yeah, Eddie Goldman's the one where I'm like, sure, I guess. Obviously, I'm not mad at Laramie Tunsil and Debo. Not at all. But Eddie Goldman's the only one where I was like, okay, I guess. Seeing Wise tape, a good pickup. I'll trust you on it. Yeah, people are negative as shit. But it's fine. There's actually a good bit of linebackers in the draft I like. I just don't know if it's gonna be like a top priority. Wise, Dietrich Wise is who we just got from. He was from on the Patriots. 30 years old. I think he played at Kansas, didn't he? Oh no, he went to Arkansas. There's another dude that went to Kansas. He went to Arkansas. I mean, we'll see. He's a bigger DN that we didn't have last season, so I can't be but so mad at it. We'll see what happens with him. Yeah, I've had Chargers fans hit me up, and I've had Bills fans hit me up about Derek Force. I was like, Derek Force is either gonna be really solid for y'all, or he's not gonna play at all. I have no idea what to expect. And say Juice, he's just not gonna play. There's no. He better not be the replacement for Asante Samuel Jr. I think McGee Hampton will develop well. Need to see the field more. Stupid ads. McGee's the true linebacker for sure. Dom Hampton could stay. Could be crazy as dime linebacker nickel. Yeah, I think it's kind of what they want him to do. Because he's not like the best coverage guy, but he's big enough. He's physical, and that's who he was at Washington in college. I think that's what they're kind of wanting to be, is like that tweener, that box safety linebacker, depending on like what kind of sets. If Jones starts, you keep him outside, put Mikey in the slot or Mikey outside. You could do either or. It honestly just depends like who is more comfortable where, because they both. Honestly, I would probably go Jones outside because that's where he played primarily, and that's where he played his best. And then Mikey, we know he can play both. Put him in the slot. Wise is also a team captain. Good point. Good point. I feel like we do got to trade back. I hope McGee balls out. That's like best case. One of my favorite things about AP drafting is he finds guys late. He can develop behind guys to become rotational players like McGee and JJB. I do agree. I feel like they have a type too. That's the most fun thing to me is like finding those types. Like I knew we were going to get Ben. I think we trade Payne for more picks. They're paying Kinlaw that much. No way he's not starting now with Wise. I think Payne's gone. I think they're gonna keep Payne another year. But I think this is Payne's last year, unless he just plays crazy. But even so, you're like, okay, we'll see. Something I've noticed the past few days, I've started using the word rotation a lot more after watching these streams. But like, look what the Eagles did. The Eagles were a rotating machine on the D line. And that's why it was so good. You're like, why do they keep drafting these defensive linemen? Well, it was working out really great. They just would rotate fresh guys in all the time. And of course, now you have to put in Sweat and Milton Williams from last year. But Ajomo, Davis, Carter, Nolan Smith, Bryce Huff didn't really do much. Byron Young, Thomas Booker, they felt good about them. You had Brandon Graham got hurt. Jalex Hunt was coming out. And like I said, you had Sweat and Milton Williams too. They were just rotating guys in. They got real like contribution from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 before he got hurt, 7, 8, 9 with Sweat and Milton. They got contribution from 9 defensive linemen last season. That's fucking nuts. That shouldn't be allowed. John Kime just made a post. That's for some of y'all in the chat. Come on. John Kime said, welcome back to all my sky is falling crowd. Missed you. Let's see all the negative comments. 19 comments. Oh, yeah, this is going to be good. Sounds like the former Patriots remember going to Super Bowl. Want to do it again. Finally a DN. Not too many negatives. Punch a ton of McNabbs. The grandpa team, we feel old as hell. Do y'all not realize that every team is signing old people because that's what the free agent group is? Like I'm just confused. Do you think every other team's signing like 24-year-olds? Is that what y'all think? Every other team in the NFL is just signing a bunch of 24-year-olds? Because it's not the case. Free agents are the veteran groups this year, at least. Next year, you get some young studs with some older guys mixed in there, but it's mostly old folks. So we had to build over half the roster. They got to spend that money wisely. Exactly. Y'all realize how many people we signed last year just to build out the roster? And we had 29 free agents this season. 29 free agents going into free agency. Did you think we were just going to like sign 29 new people? Did you think we were just going to bring back the same exact team and just do like one splash, one big splash? Cam Jordan's coming back to the Saints. Shout out Cam. He's one of those good ones. Why is Twitter just not working? Good point. You get your young guys from the draft and vets from the free agent, plain and simple. Or if you can trade those picks for really good players that usually aren't available, like a Debo or a Laramie Tunzel, then you do it. Sucks losing Chin, but the draft is loaded with Quinn, box safeties, Amanwari, Hook, Wohler, Sanker. Yeah, Jonas Sanker would be really good. Kevin Winston Jr., there's a lot of them. He was using practice squad guys last year for depth. Let's remember that. The depth was so bad, and they were all free agents too. Shop Charles Joshua fans are not familiar with AP doing. He only helped do this in San Francisco and New England in very successful seasons. I understand people in familiar territory, but let him cook. I mean, I'm letting him work, man. He knows what he's doing. But bringing in those boys that know what it takes to win. Yeah, he knows what it takes. And he was also so close so many times in San Francisco. And he's like, we're not going to do that shit again. I'm going to swing for the fences and, get these top guys. Nathan, the super chat. I was frustrated yesterday, but I had too high hopes thinking everyone wanted to come here. Let's see what we get in the draft. So I think that's something to like think about too. Like, it's not that players don't want to come here, but look at a lot of these signings. It's like, oh, they're going back to where they were, or they're going here and reuniting with this coach. They're going to this city where they're from. They're going to New York because they have family ties. Like, you have to think about that too. This is an older group of players. This is probably one of the last contracts a lot of these will get, or they'll get like a 1-2 year deal after that and they're done. A lot of these players want to go somewhere where, like Javon Holland said, I want to win. I want to have a good quarterback. I want a player's coach. Then he goes to the Giants because he has family ties there. All of that winning and having a quarterback. At the end of the day, would you rather go to DC where you don't know anybody, like you're just there, whatever, or would you rather go somewhere where you have a lot of these players are picking to go with old coaches, people they know, people they trust. This is such a who do you know business. Players want to go for coaches they want to play for. A lot of players, they don't want to just go to some brand new team at this point in their career. Like, all right, this could be good, but this could also be really, really bad. I don't know nobody. Nobody knows me here. It's like the person side of it. There's a ton of those signings that happen this offseason where they go somewhere else because of the money, or they re-signed with their current team because they didn't want to leave, or they said, hey, my old head coach is there. My old wide receiver coach is there. My family lives in New York, or I have family that works on the team. That's where I want to go. I think people are forgetting that side of it. It's not just Washington is a special place right now. I want to go there at 29, 30 years old, on my last leg. Not saying it's like that for every player, but it happened like that in this free agency group for a lot of players. They picked that side of it. And then also, did we want them? Did AP even make an offer to some of these players? So there's both sides of it. It's not just us. It's other ones. They are bringing in commanders. Exactly. They are going to bring in who they want. That's what he does. Let me see. All right, I'm about to hop off of here. We've been live for a little over 2 hours. AP is setting himself up for the future. Knows he's going to make JD5 top 3 quarterback pay wise. So yeah, we still have that window. You probably have 2-3 more years. I'd say year 4. Depends what they decide to do, but 3rd, 4th year is when you're going to be paying Jayden Daniels whatever that contract is. If you want to get ahead of it, you do it earlier. If you want to wait it out and then do it that next season, whatever. But he knows he has a window. This was never a 1-year thing to where it's just, let's just sign all the best players we can and just pray we win. It's not how you do it. You want to be aggressive by trading for Debo, by trading for Laremy Tunsil. Sure, I get that, but you don't want to be reckless and say, all right, we're going to throw these giant contracts. And then when it's time to come to pay Jayden Daniels, we don't have the money for that. They probably do it year 3. I like the signing big physical player and is a space eater, kind of. I agree. But I don't mind this approach. Your team made it to the NFC Championship game last year. You add a franchise left tackle. You add a legit wide receiver threat. You have the draft to get your edge guy, to get a legit running back. I think that's the top 2 needs. Edge and a legit number 1 running back. But, you got to have the money. They are going to pay Jay no matter what. But if when you get to that point, then you're limited on how much you can spend on other players. So right now we're trying to build up the roster as much as possible, but not overpay the rest of the roster. You know what I'm saying? Especially how we just looked at how good the free agency class is next year. There's some younger big names in there. That's if you want to add heavy hitters, some big names, next season is the year to do that. You got some TJ Watts in there. We talked about Sauce Gardner, Mike Evans, Joe Tooney, Cortland Sutton. There's a ton next year. If you want to take big swings on some big players, next season is the way to do it. But this free agent group was not the one to do it. You had a couple teams be aggressive. I thought the Vikings were aggressive in their free agency group. But once again, the Bears, they traded for 2 offensive linemen they wanted. They didn't just go sign a bunch of players. They built the trenches by trading. So Terry should be extended. I think you get it done in the summer, which will free up more money for 2025. So, but all right, y'all, I'm going to end it on here. If anything else pops up, just follow along on Twitter. We do love making some late moves, so it would not surprise me if we re-sign somebody or sign somebody else. Like I said, me and Rio are going to be live tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time, so swing by. We'll be cutting up on here, but also breaking down any newer things and then just giving our thoughts overall on everything going down. So appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all are subbed up on the way out. Hit that thumbs up for other Washington fans, and I will see y'all tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Peace.